Hey YouTube, it's your favorite mega church cult survivor, Leah Lauder, and I'm live. I'm also live on TikTok. You know, it is late. It's almost 11 p.m. in the evening, so this is just like my bedtime attire. Anyway, YouTube, I'm live on TikTok. I don't think I'm gonna go live on Instagram because I'm tired. I'll just give a little background, and also my battery's low. Oh, this isn't going to stay. 1 minute, YouTube. I'm so sorry, TikTok. You know I never sort myself out. Hey Mayna. Oh God, I look a mess, guys. Do you know what? Yeah. So, oh my God. All right. Do you know what? Let's just take it down because I don't want to be on here looking a mess. I'll keep it real. I got a lot of haters. I got a lot of people watching. Let me just get comfortable. Okay, so my name's Leah Lauder, and I'm a mega church cult survivor. And I spent 18 years in a mega church cult, and then I came to the realization, I don't know what I've done with this piece. Oh, okay. I came to the realization that I was in a church cult, and now I've just been like online exposing them because they deserve it. Oh, hey. Oh, you like the title? Oh, do you know what? I've done a part 1 to it. So basically, guys, I've been talking about like how women are demonized in like biblical text, especially like the canon. And I was talking about like Queen Vashti and Jezebel and how they're demonized, and just giving like a historical context on it and how they demonized like women who are like pretty or love themselves. Let me just get into a good position because okay. I'm so sorry, YouTube, but let's just get it right because so I can get comfortable because I've got quite a bit to talk about. Okay, I don't know why I'm looking giantesque on YouTube. Let's get it back a little bit. All right, brilliant. Okay, I think I'm a bit more settled now. Sorry, guys. I just don't know why I'm looking like this on YouTube. All right, there we go. Okay. Woo, yeah. Oh my gosh, guys. Honestly, I don't know why I came on when I've had a little 1, 2. All right. So my name's Leah Lauder, and I'm a mega church cult survivor, and I spent 18 years in a mega church cult. And now I'm going to be talking more about the structures. So I've been talking about how women are demonized in the Bible. Okay. So now, if you haven't seen part 1 to 2, go on my YouTube and watch it. It's on there. I'm just going to tie it all together now. So I've been speaking about how Mary Magdalene's gospel has basically like the history of women has been deleted, and they can't authenticate Mary Magdalene's gospel. It doesn't mean that it's not true. It just, we spoke about all of the different factors, the political structures, etc., that contributed to it not being a part of that patriarchal structure that they were trying to create. Okay, so now we're going to look at tying it all together. I don't know why I'm looking like this on the YouTube, like what is going on? Okay. So Mary, the apocrypha, Gnosticism, the canon, and who gained by shutting the feminine up or shutting that voice down. So as you know, we don't have the Gospel of Mary Magdalene in the canon texts, but it is in the Gnostic text. And so the reason why I'm going to be talking about Gnosticism this evening is because they were believing in Gnosticism for about 300 years, and then they changed it up. So as we're deconstructing, it's really important to understand like the different belief systems and why that changed. Okay, so look into Mama Zogby when you have time. Talk me a lot about this. Is it? Let me take a little screenshot. Who's that? I hope this helps, because I have to come out of my notes. But I'm going to take your word for it. Let me just find it. One second, guys. Bear with me. Okay. All right. So the Gospel of Mary and other non-canon writings that are part of the Gnostic movement explain why those texts were sidelined, how the canon was formed, and how doctrines about sin and authority were and can be used to control women. So all of this authoritarian doctrine, you know, submitting to the man and whatever, this is getting used against women, okay? And so this is evidence-based so that you can understand what it is that they're actually doing, okay? All right, so let's look at the Gospel of Mary and the other lost writings, what they are and what they do. Is everyone following so far? Well, there's not many on TikTok, but welcome. Welcome, guys. I survived a cult for 18 years. Let me just fix myself because I can't be on here looking rough. Do you know what, though? I'm glad because that means that survivors are going out on a Friday night. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, get it in, yeah. Oh, okay. It's making sense. All right, brilliant. Even if there's just a few of us, let me just sort this out because, you know, I'm not used to having like this synthetic hair and it really does get on my nerves. But I can't do the human hair anymore, man. Hey, Pally, I can't do the human hair anymore, chair. If I'm going to have a little something going on, it has to be synthetic because I'm just not sure about all this human hair. You know, like spiritually, I don't know. It doesn't sit right with me, man. Now I'm spiritual. I don't know, like, I don't know, man. It's just not a bit of me. All right. I don't hold it against anyone that like wears wigs or whatever, but like, and human hair, but I don't know, man. I don't know about that. All right. So let's get into it. Let's start. All right. So the Gospel of Mary and other lost writings, what they are and what they do. So the Gospel of Mary, there's just a few of the Coptic fragments and a few other Greek pieces, and this is all the surviving fragments of the Gospel, and many other non-canon texts, often called apocrypha or Gnostic Gospels, present an alternative early Christianity. So they brand it as evil, but it's not evil. It was an earlier alternative of Christianity in which Mary Magdalene and other women are spiritual authorities. They receive private teaching from the risen Jesus, interpret visions, and lead the community. The thing is, I don't understand why these texts aren't more widely used now, because a lot of the false prophets and mogs and Protestants and all that, like they make their doctrine like that. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's interpretations, and they're claiming to have these personal revelations and visitations by Jesus Christ and whatever. And people are taking that as the gospel oath, but then they're branding Mary Magdalene's gospel as EVIL. Mad, innit? These texts emphasize inner knowledge, which is gnosis, spiritual ascent, and direct revelation. Theological moves that place religious authority in experience and insight rather than exclusivity in institutional male office holders. So as we know, this particular group, it's very patriarchal and it's very misogynistic. In some of the places of worship, you know, a woman isn't even allowed to preach. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, she's just got to be, she can either do praise and worship and work with the children. And I just think that's very stereotypical and archaic, because I mean, like, society has moved forward so much. So, but one thing that they really do sell, and I think I'm going to go into depth into this at some point, is the way they're like, oh, we're in the world, but we're not of the world. And you know what, guys? That's how they get them to sell invisible blessings. I'm not even going to lie, because everyone's just believing in human fecal matter in there. They could tell them that the sky is green. Do you know what I mean? And they would convince everyone. They would gaslight. Do you know what it is? It's gaslighting. They'd gaslight people into believing that the sky is green. And then when they're telling us that the sky is green, yeah, and we're saying, no, mate, it's blue. And then we're saying, oh, babe, this is giving spiritual psychosis. That they're coming on and doing videos saying, everyone's screaming spiritual. It's like, okay, sis, these guys are funny, chair. Anyway, do you know what? You can do what you want to do in it, because I gave it 18 years. I've left. Thank God I look fabulous. Do you know what? Yeah, let me tell you something. Yeah, what color is it? Let me tell you something. Yeah, listen to this. So I was looking at some of the pictures of my old cult, yeah, and me and the OG members were busting. Me and the OG member were busting up, because I was just like, oh my gosh, there's so many gal them in there that are younger than me, and it's, again, it's not that the face is wrinkled or whatever. It's just the trauma of the space, the stress, the pressure. They just look so washed up. If you're on here, yeah, and you like me, or what I'm saying is of interest to you, can I ask you that you like the live? Because I have to have 8 accounts and they try and get me off, because I just expose up the church cults, and I don't really care. Let me put this here so I've got a bit more support. Hey, Wakanda, do you know what? I was supposed to call you, girl. I'm going to call you though. I saw you in Woolwich and then you disappeared. Hey, Parry. All right. Yeah, guys, do you know what? If you're on here, please like the live for me, yeah? Because they are out to get me. But do you know what it is, yeah? Because I churn out so much context. Shining, careful. Careful. Paris, are you a mod? Because I just don't have time for this, man. It's just giving, are you seeking employment? Do you know what I mean? I don't get it. You don't get it. Am I supposed to get it? Because I'm not getting it. If I'm supposed to, please let me know. But I'm just not getting it. No, I'm not getting the energy. Gosh. Okay, can you just give that individual a warm welcome, my love? That's asking me something about the views. If you scroll up, Pally. Thank you, love. Because I don't have time for that, babe. I'm too pretty for all that. Do you know, why are you asking me them questions? Do I know? I just come on here, sit pretty, I do my content, I get it out. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I'm on here for a collective. It's a collective of people that, you know, when they hear what I'm saying, it resonates. Come on here asking me about views. I don't care. All right. So because we need to deconstruct Christianity, yeah, the early Christians were believing in Gnosticism for 300 years. And that was before the Constantine stuff and is it the Nicaea or the Nicene? I'm going to get into it anyway. But Gnosticism is a loose label for a family of early religious movements flourishing, especially in the 2nd to 3rd centuries and with influence into the 4th century. And it emphasized a radical distinction between the spiritual good and the material, flawed or trapping. So it looked at this material plane as something that has flaws and would trap you. And then they believed that salvation came through secret or inner knowledge, gnōsis. So this is why they demonize Gnosticism, because they were believing in it for 300 years and they've tried to cover it up. They've tried to do a cover up, guys. You see, like what we're noticing now, like what the government do and stuff, they've been doing this. Do you understand? But we didn't have the internet and all that. So how did they do it? Through religion. That was how they were able to control the masses. And now we've got the technology, we're able to really unpack it. And that's just the truth. Like, I'm not here to convince anyone, because I'm not trying to be an evangelist. I'm not. If I was, though, trust me, I'd be a huge evangelist. Are you all right? Prophetess Leah in the house, and I can sing as well. Once you can sing, child, they just lap it up. Do you know what I mean? They're so like, they love all the glitters. You know, they love everything that glitters and they love all of that, child. That's why when a famous person starts coming, it's like game over. But they're supposed to be in the world, but not of the world. If Cardi B converted tomorrow, yeah, oh my God, they'd all be loving it. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's so weird. It's the weirdest thing. They teach you to like hate it, and then they beg it so bad. Like they recreate the world, and it's like a budget version of it. It's just embarrassing. You'd be a billionaire with worldwide churches in it, babe. And I'd have one of them, you know, one of them fake prophets, because you can't do it on your own. You've got to have a head. Do you know what I mean? Like all of them. That's why the women. Do you know? You see, like in the world, all of the big business owners and whatever, they can make money, but they're not like lucky in love. Do you know what I mean? And it's the same in because these mega what spaces, yeah, it's just the mirror of the world. It's just an exasperation. That's why don't watch me, babe. I'm in my feminine energy. Someone's gonna come and scoop me up and rescue my ass. Do you know what I mean? I'm not trying to lay that out. Sorry. Them gal there, they're gonna do that time for me. They're gonna build up the man. Do you know what I mean? Then I'm in my feminine energy. He's gonna come and spend that money on me. Do you know what I mean? Because he's already been with the pick me and the barber, the builder to build him up. Like we figured it out. The older gal, then we figure it out. We figured it out. We figured it out now. Like that's why they're not like it's got to be a real man to deal with a real woman. Like you get it. Like I'm almost 40. I'm gonna be 39 in January. So it's like the pennies dropped, and I'm like, oh, okay. And it's all true. Like everything they tell you as you get older, it all makes sense. That's why they've tried to like break us down. Like they've tried to. It's mad, man. Women, we're supposed to be worshipped. When we give birth, we unalive. We unalive and come back to life, literally. We used to be worshipped in temples before they destroyed it all. Yeah. So I would say just make sure you just learn your history, because there's a lot that they've hidden. There's been a lot of lies, a lot of cover-ups, and I just think we need to know the truth now. All right, so they believe that salvation comes through by secret or inner knowledge, gnosis. So do you see, you can't really control people with that because it's an inner knowing, rather than by institutional meditation or prayers or okay, all right. And then it says, and cosmologies often involving emanations, e.g. a supreme unknowable God, a Sophia, and a lower creator or demiurge who fashions the material world. Oh, okay. So I don't know much about Gnosticism yet, because I just haven't gone into it too much. Just because I know it is like an inner thing and this, that, and the third. And maybe there will be a time when I get into it, but I just want to go within and then just see what things match. So I'm not going to lie, when I do hear about like Mary Magdalene's gospel, it really does resonate. And there were things that I was saying that I didn't even realize was in there. So when that happens, it does give me like an assurity in knowing that this is a truth. Yeah. Am I the Ghanaian first love girl? What do you mean? I'm not the Ghanaian first love girl. I'm the queen of the mega church cults. I sit on Dag Eward Mill's neck. That's who I am. My name's Leah Lauder. You know who I am, baby. But I used to pretend that I was half Ghanaian and half Lebanese. So you're partly right. You're partly right, Charlie. Why are you coming on here to trouble me? Or that's how I used to talk in there. Are you all right? Guys, I buy about 1,000 of these lip glosses and then I'm here like squeezing this. I don't know where it is. All right. Let me stay focused. But guys, you know what? This is so triggering, man. I haven't even watched back the other video. I'm just like, oh, guys, I just want to let you all know that I love you. I don't know if I've said it tonight. Guys, I did my nails, you know. Guys, I got an interview tomorrow. I'm doing an interview. Not for a job. It's for they're interviewing me about. I'm going to keep it a surprise. I'm not going to say what it's. I can't even remember, chair. I got a few things coming up, so that should be quite good. Hey, Kay. Oh, love you too, Blacklisted. I think it's nice to have this because we were never told we were loved in these environments. You know what I mean? It's nice to feel appreciated and just be told, you know, I love you and it's genuine. Do you know what I mean? And I really do appreciate all the support, guys. Okay. Yeah, so what I think they believe is there's this lower creator or demiurge who controls the material world. So so do they believe that I don't know, I'm not going to get into it, guys, because I'm not sure, but they believe in this demiurge who fashions the material world. So it's completely different. They don't believe in they believe in salvation coming from gnosis, like within. And I'm not going to lie, I believe the same thing. And as I said, there are going to be truths that might be across many sacred texts. Do you know what I mean? And I think that that's where the seek and you shall find knock and I will answer comes from. Because you have to decode the Bible. Like, I don't want to say too much, but there's themes and patterns. So you kind of need to group the stuff together. So for me, the two scriptures that I just said alongside, for lack of knowledge, my people perish. Oh, look, Mayna's saying exactly. That decodes it. Guys, I've had a little, so I'm all over the place. But I just thought, let me come on. Do you know what I mean? Because why not? It's a Friday night. Do you know what I mean? I just thought, why not? Oh, thank you. You're such a king, Mayno. Thank you. It's so refreshing to see men like with common sense. You know, it's really refreshing. All right. At the moment, I think my connection might be going a bit on YouTube, guys. At the moment, we're seeing a lot of these people out doing this fake evangelism, this church cult recruitment, this and that. The reason why we're going to see them out even more, because there's an exasperation. They are getting a lot of resistance outside. Yeah, so she said celibate gang gathering. It's so true, man. That's what we're on, man. We have to protect our energy, babe, by any means necessary. I'm open to, like, I'm not gonna say if someone comes in that I'm not gonna, you know, not. I've tried to explore it. I've spoken to a few guys and whatever, but you know when the intuition kicks in and, you know, I have my ways, and, you know, when I don't like what I see, I'm just like, that's it. You're gone. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I do feel like I'm in a position to date now, because I'm different. I'm not the same. You know, I could be talking to you. Our conversations could be flowing for a week, and then I could just get a feeling or whatever. I'm just locking you off. I ain't got time for that. Because one thing I do really go with is the gut. Because I don't have time. I'm not even trying to explore red flags. I'll keep it real with you. I'm just going with the gut and intuition, and if it's not from the moment, that's it. Because if I'd gone with that initial gut feeling, I wouldn't have ended up staying in the cult for 18 years. My gut was it. That's why when I heard about Bishop Richard starting up this cult that he's doing, I was like, babe, like that. All right, if it's successful in it. Because I know there's a lot of people like in desperation. But it's like, oh, thanks for the raises, babe. But it's like, babe, like when you first meet that man, yeah, there's such a, I can't even explain it. It's like a darkness. And the thing is, yeah, you can't even like get what he's talking about. So in the beginning, I was like, to my spiritual father, I was like, oh my gosh, like, you know, I can't understand Bishop Richard. Why is that? And he was like, oh, it's an anointing that you have to catch. You know, my spiritual daddy, he tried to tell me that it was an anointing that I had to catch to be able to understand Bishop Richard. Oh no, where's my lip balm? Oh, here it is. Guys, it's because I'm trying to do up the glasses inside. All right, let me get back onto this. But guys, you know, this is so hard for me to do because I just can't believe that there's been so much deception. Like, I just feel like now that I've come out, I just feel like they're the DEVIL. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm sorry, but the level is just, and they know exactly what they're doing. All right, so let's get into the Gnostic group. So they were diverse, not a single organization, but for a few centuries, they were one of several competing Christianities in the Mediterranean. Their emphasis on inner revelation, naturally elevated figures portrayed as recipients of secret teaching, often including women. So do you see that there's no representation in the canon for women, but in the Gnostic text there is. So these texts are another early Christian voice, one that often centered women's visionary authority and spiritual autonomy. Okay, so let's look at why the Gnostic texts were sidelined, the historical process. And this is not conspiracy, this is the historical process. I also want to say this is why they do information control. Part of information control is that you won't get access to information. So that's why if you tell me that you were in that church cult and then now, oh, I'm in a healthy church and blah, 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 and you can't listen to what I'm saying and you can't process that. You're still indoctrinated and in a cognitive dissonant state, because you're still controlling the information that you can have privy to, that you're privy to. Yeah, and that's one of the biggest parts of like them being able to indoctrinate you, because your mind is simple. You're not opening your mind up to different perspectives. All right. So the New Testament canon did not spring out of one meeting or the whim of one emperor. It emerged over centuries by contested, regionally varied decisions. So like, oh, we're going to get into it. And by the late 4th century, the 27 book list was widely accepted in the West. So Athanasius' 367 Festal Letter, the Synod of Hippo 393, and Councils of Carthage 397, 491, and Key Milepost. Yeah, I think that was a letter written around that time. And this is where the information has been taken from, because obviously I'm dealing with factual evidence. I'm not dealing with Shabbat, the Lord has told me. Yeah. So the texts were included or excluded for several reasons. Apostolic attribution, wide circulation, theological compatibility. With that became orthodoxy and the social political needs of church leaders seeking unity. So again, they wanted to package it in a way where they could control everyone, because remember, people had like, there's roots of like paganism, so that's why they merged, you know. And I'm not here to demonize paganism, I'm just saying that like the Festival of Lights, Christmas, the goddess worship around Easter, the fertility, like all of that, there's a lot of crossover, so they merged it together because they wanted like almost like a one world type of order religion. And that's what all of the wars and everything have been about, guys, is to control through this like power and ego and religion. And that's what we're realizing now, that it's just been a lot of like egotistical, narcissistic, you know what, misogynistic, you know what. And unfortunately they have used a lot of psychology in the name of God, unfortunately, to brainwash a lot of women. Age of Enlightenment, which is dark. Oh yeah. Oh my God, because there needs to be darkness for the light to shine through. That is so deep, you know, because yeah, you can't have light without darkness. And do you know, oh, Blacklisted, that is so deep. Thank you for sharing that, my love. Thank you so much, because that has a real depth. I don't take for granted when people comment on here, because this is an overflow of the well from within. Do you know what I mean? And these are things that, you know, private things, and, you know, things that people have sought for themselves knowledge. And I really appreciate it, because that is really, really deep. And it's so true. And this is why I just love this space. And they think it's about numbers and stuff, but there could be one person on here. Like, I remember like this girl, I'm not going to mention more than this because she's left quite recently, but she's like in one of the music ministries. And I couldn't believe it when she told me she'd left. And I was like, ooh. So sometimes it could just be like one person, but that one person could have been in the cult for like 10 years. And something they hear helps to start to, you know, confirm certain things that they've been thinking. Isn't it so strange the way they don't want to take accountability? I just think the more and more they don't take accountability, the more and more like people will come forward. But anyway, let's get back into it, because I've disassociated. All right, so Constantine and the Council of Nicaea are often blamed in pop narratives for choosing the Bible, and that is not accurate. Because you know me, I deal with facts. I'm not trying to deal with things that fit. I deal with facts. Imperial patronage changed Christianity's social standing and created pressures for doctrinal unity. So again, as I said, they were trying to make things like more like a one. Do you think it fits right if I say more of a like one world order? They wanted to control people through a centralized packaged religion. Okay, because remember with Christ it was a movement, and then they just restructured everything. Do you know what I mean? And that there was such a big movement. You know, it's all psychology. But the shape of the canon is the result of long debates and elite choices across centuries. So the shaping of the canon Bible, it's resulted in long debates, because, you know, it's all about who it's gonna, you know, benefit the most and stuff. Can you believe this? It's all political. That's why I said you can't have, like, when you talk about politics, you've got to talk about religion. That's why Keir Starmer didn't say that England isn't a you-know-what nation, because they got to sit on the fence. And when you bring religion into it, then we see what's happening in the US, because not everybody shares those beliefs and values, and it's unfair, because then you don't have your, like, religion, it does take away free will. And that's why I'm so glad that they don't have the power that they used to have over this nation. Like, it was absolutely ridiculous, like, just no freedom, like we were trapped here. But now they don't have the support and backing, and there's a lot of racial tension at the moment. Do you get it? There's a lot. So yeah, let's see what happens. All right. So exclusion of certain texts and whatever results in the outcome of theological political consolidation and preferences for texts that supported hierarchical male leadership, not simply a secret emperor plot. So this was all towards that, because remember, all of the leadership was like males. Do you know what I'm saying? And so they frame this all around their hidden agenda and motives, and it's man-made. It's through the lens of a man. Do you see what I mean? So that's why we get a lot of these tones. And guys, you know, stories over the years, it's like Chinese whispers. The Brotherhood wrote the Bible. Who's the Brotherhood, girl? Oh, chill. Who's the Brotherhood? Survivors, I'm going to say that this live, we are going to be going deep. So if you're not ready for it, then she's saying MASONS. Ooh, I'm just trying to. They secretly worship the dark feminine. In what way? Because you know what, I'm going to listen to Blacklisted. I'm going to be open to the conversation, just because a lot of the things that you've said has resonated with me. So yeah, just keep putting your things there, and because I'm open to explore. Because you know the EVIL that I've seen, babe. Ooh, Paris said facts. Ooh, you lot have been on it, innit? Let me tell you something. The EVIL that I've seen in these spaces, I wouldn't put anything past them. I'm not going to lie. The BLK widow entrapment. What's the BLK widow? All right, so it looks like Paris and Blacklisted know some stuff. So I think I'm going to have to look into that afterwards, because this is all news to me, Jer. Do you get it? Like, all right. Okay. So let's look into the theological stakes: gnosis, sin, and control. So many Gnostic writings, including themes in the Gospel of Mary, stress inner spiritual knowledge and present the material world as a realm of entrapment. So again, do you see how? Okay, let me just keep going. That vision can be read to undercut the latter. Institutional emphasis on sin. Institutional emphasizes on sin and juridical authority. It places salvation in personal insight and spiritual accent rather than in obedience to clerical structures. embodiments of Sophia. Ooh. Okay, so you've really been deconstructing that down that route, like the divine femme, Gnosticism. I'm happy for you, though. I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy for you, Chair, because we need to wake up, Chair, because it's just, you know what I mean? It's just too much at this point. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I've had enough. Because, because I still don't know a lot and I'm still searching. There were certain things I didn't really want to talk about and this and that. But, if people open up the conversations, I'm more than happy to discuss and, hold the space for more metaphysical, or just different schools of thought. That's what the space is here for. And I'm also interested, and I'm also like, you know what I mean? But it's good. I love it because I never got a chance to do this. And I'm so happy that we've got like the internet and TikTok, because it helps me to like catch up on the lost years. Ooh, yeah. I just remembered I got my donut from Aldi, baby. Oh, I got some croissants. You know what, guys? I'm not going to lie. I do regret not getting the sticky toffee pudding, because I was like, it's a bit greedy. But, they've got this cake and they secretly worship Mother Gaia. So are you saying that they worship what, like is it a dark element? Or you're saying that these things are dark? Oh, you lot, I don't know if I'm feeling this, You lot don't get the Brazilian thing in Lidl's. It's actually, maybe I'm getting more of the thing now. All right. So that vision of you having to reach this gnosis level and having inner spiritual knowledge, that cuts off the middleman, because there's no need to go to, like, do you know what I mean, a mog or a prophet or whatever for revelation. So it places salvation in personal insight and spiritual accent, rather than being obedient to all of these structures. So they create the structures. That's man-made. Religion is would you agree that religion's a social structure? A social construct, sorry. Or how would you describe it? So these institutional authorities, they rely on hierarchies, male clerical social control. Woo! Yeah. That makes sense why it needs social action in it. Yeah, because that's what I said. I said that we can't be doing that. Do you know what I mean? I need people to heal so that we can go out and protest. Do you know what I mean? Like, this. I need to be on the internet crying, because that's what it is. Do you understand, guys? My heart just breaks for the women that have been essayed. What do you mean, babe? Oh, so what, they're siphoning the energy? Oh, actually, oh no, there's something crunchy in the middle jail. Oh, this is giving Ferrero Rocher. No, guys, get the muffin. Get the muffin jail. No, this is an absolute bargain. Ooh. When I start dating, I'm gonna have to go on about this Dubai chocolate, because I like this. But my little girl's allergic to nuts. All right, I've completely disassociated. Oh my gosh, that is mouth watering. Oh, that's gorgeous. All right. So they needed to introduce all of these institutional authorities in the name of structured religion because of social, political, and doctrinal reasons. So they preferred scriptures that supported hierarchical order, structure, and clear rules about sin and moral discipline. Okay. So again, you can see the hidden agenda and motives, because doctrines about sin, guilt, and authority are powerful social tools, insisting on a theology that emphasizes human sinfulness and institutional meditation can be used to justify control, and that's through moral shaming, gatekeeping of leadership, limiting women's roles. You know, they like, the only thing that they offer us in there is this wife thing, and that's signing up to be a slave. And majority of the women, they're binding themselves to poverty and a life of carrying a piggybacking a man on their back. I feel so sorry for the women in there. You see the marriage, yeah? Ladies, I know it's hard, but don't be down if you're a bit older and you haven't got kids and stuff. Because I know poverty keeps us entrapped. Oh my God. Because, girl, they're marrying off the young people so young. 19, 20. Do you know what I mean? Like, I got married at 25. That's young, you know. Do you know how young I feel now? But the way they make you feel in there, they make you feel like you're old. You know why, yeah? Because they give you like all of these roles and positions and titles. And you got to remember, in there, everything's about bums on seats equals coins, because it's a business. And that business has to get run by people, and that's the congregation. So that's why a lot of people have been seeing like things as positive, like the young people are confident, they're leaders. No, it's because they've been groomed and exploited to be this leader, to help grow the youth ministry or whatever. They don't even have a say. Do you know the ones that I feel sorry for, the most sorry for, guys? I'm not even gonna lie. It's the second Jenners, man. Imagine having a mom that's like, care, lights are on, no one's home. I can't imagine what that must be like. Number crunching. Number crunching brings in the money. Money strengthens the power of control. Yeah, you're right. Because even though they're losing members, they've still got the money. Do you know what I'm saying? To put on like these big spectacles, and, you know, they want to prove to everybody that they're still anointed or whatever. It's all about the mug. Like, when you come back and you reflect, you realize that everything just revolves around that guy. And when the penny drops, oh my God, it's absolutely devastating. Like, you see, when you come to like the realization, it's like, oh my God, they've been lying this whole time. It's like being married to a man for 10 years and then finding out that he had a wife for like, I don't know, like 14 years or something. And you're thinking, what? But you were married for 10 years and then together, like, let's say like 13 years or something. It's like, could you imagine that? All right. Okay, so that's why readings that elevate a feminine liberatory voice, so Mary's gnōsis, Vashti's autonomy, Jezebel's political agency, so rather like flipping that script and looking at the times, you know, like contextualizing everything, like understanding that, you know, you had to be really bold and have a lot of guts, you know, to do the things that they did. And as well, I said, I'm not saying what Jezebel did was right, but all the other kings were doing it. Why does she get singled out? Because she was the only woman that done it. What? And then all the other women are getting labeled with this. And it was nothing to do with sexuality, but they make it about that. You see, like, where there's just like a disconnect. There's been a lot of Chinese whispers, like my ex-cult leader was saying, when you look at Vashti's story, the king asked her to come to the party or whatever. He's like, check it, read your Bible, read your. And I was thinking, when you look at it in context, actually, you know, there's suggestions that he meant in an actual way, and she was being objectified. So we've been through all of that earlier. But you know, these mogs, the minds are just perverse and dark. They're reminiscent of colonizers. That's what they are. They colonize the mind. Similarly, they did the same thing through slavery. Do you get it? So the real entrapment has to happen in the mind first to be able to, like, especially control masses of people. And they use the same mind control tactics and techniques that the cults use. So it's deep. It's deep. Hey, Posh G, it's deep. I won't lie to you lot. And that's why I'm on here, because if people can catch me when I come on, you know, I'm going to go see guys there because I'm tired. You lot today, I'm not even going to lie, guys, because I had to have a little. It's just been crazy. I'm not even going to lie to you. But let me tell you what happened. As I was sitting here, I think one of the neighbours are doing fireworks. And I don't know why, but I just felt like, is there something good coming? You know, like what I mean? Like, am I going to be celebrating? Because I just feel like stuff like that's not a coincidence. I mean, it's such a random time of the year. And when I was sitting there and the things I was thinking about, and, you know, like that's the freedom in having a personal relationship with God and really knowing God. Do you know what I mean? Because it's not restricted. And God will speak to you in so many beautiful ways. And what happens when you come out of religion is, well, for me, I was so desperate to seek God and have some sort of communication. And I won't talk about some of the personal things, but just like in terms of connecting with nature, the birds of the air, you know, just allowing nature to speak to me, because I was alone for a long time. I didn't really have many friends and my mental health was just so bad. And there were many things in reflection that spoke to me and still do speak to me to this day. And I think that when you're at that point of desperation for God, God is self-mastery and unconditional love. Oh, that's lovely. Yeah. And, you know, it's such a beautiful feeling. You know, it's so liberating, you know, being like trapped for so long and feeling, you know, like a prisoner. I just thought that my life was always going to be like that. I just thought that that was going to be my forever. And guys, some people, they'll be telling themselves that they're happy in there, but I just need them to understand it's not about you, because they think everything's about the cult leader. No one cares. I just happened to be in Dag's cult. Do you get it? It could have been anyone, babe. Do you get what I'm saying? I think the reason that God put me in Dag's cult though is because he writes all these books. So I think for, like, you know, in terms of when I'm writing books and things, and also they learn a lot of scriptures in there. They learn a lot of, like, when it comes to that false mega church doctrine, I mean, Dag's right on the money, because he likes to write a lot of books. So when it comes to, like, the false doctrine world, like, no one can. And then I've got the mix of being, like, with it, you know, with the young, like they don't have that. Like, come on, have you seen First Love, Jail? They got the dancing stars, and you know what I mean? Like, not even my 11-year-old would want to sit there and watch that. Do you know what I mean? She'd be like, Mommy, what's that? My 11-year-old would be laughing. It's just a different generation, but Dag won't budge, because what Dag says goes. So if Dag thinks that they should all be doing this dance, and they're going to be doing it up. Yeah, babe, Miss Blacklisted, you see when you strip it all back, yeah, it's all spell work. That's what I've been screaming. The whole lot. It's all spell work. The repetition, the recitation. They also do incantations, a lot of incantations in the name of, like, curses and in the name of Jesus. And I come again, they do it a lot, like, especially when they're out street preaching. May God deliver you from that fornication and that foul spirit. The devil is, oh, thank you, babe. Someone said they like my videos. Thank you so much. That means so much. They start to go into this EVIL thing. They're all actors, vibrational, energetic frequency. Ooh. I'm really happy that we've got Blacklisted that knows a lot of this stuff, because this is good, because this is what I've been wanting to kind of talk about a bit more, because I just think that survivors just need the truth now, because people are really struggling. People are really struggling. There's just been so much demonization because they want to keep us trapped. They want to keep us, because this is a self-sealing system, the planet. Oh my God, it's so crazy. When you come to that realization that the planet is a self-sealing system, guys, we can't get out. We actually can't get out. Like when you deep it, we can get an aeroplane to go somewhere else, which is just ridiculous. Like the way you have to pay for it and have this passport and whatever. But in terms of the wider scope of things, because we are in the universe, we actually can't. Like this is a self-sealing system. I don't know. I just hope it resonates, and I just feel like these smaller places of worship, which are really just cults, is like, as I said, an exasperated version of that. It's as if we're on the we are on the outside looking in. When you're inside, you think you're going all out for God, you know, you're winning the loss at any cost, but really you're just getting used. And the young guys are so RADICAR. They've got so much trauma and mental health. Miss Blacklisted, can you pin your comment, please? Because my setup, I can't even, if I touch it, it's just gonna go down. I need to actually remember to do that tomorrow, like get the tripod. I'm going to do this bit, guys, and then I'm going to head off because I'm, you know, when I'm feeling tired, I'm like, ooh, that's brilliant. That's what I'm saying. Like, they've all got stuff to say, but babe, I am on here tired. Like, when I come off here, I'm going to have a good sleep. Are you all right? Oh my God, I'm going to sleep like a baby tonight. I can tell. And I really do put that intention out for you guys. I hope you have the best sleep ever. And you wake up and you feel refreshed and revived. Like we're just not we're not on any bad vibes. You know? There's so like the world is crumbling before our eyes, and all we want to do is just YOLO, carpe diem. Do you know what I mean? Like, you get me? Like, just be here, like in our own space, and you know, our own energy, and just really just we've got our coping, do you know what I mean, practices and whatever it is that we're doing up. You should just, guys, honestly, I think just go out when necessary. Go out now and then. I don't think, if you feel like you need to have yourself in hermit though, like isolated a bit, not isolated, that's not the right thing to say, but maybe protecting yourself energetically. Yeah, oh my God, we just want peace. And that's why I think people are getting so angry with them when they're doing the street church cult recruitment, because that's literally all we're trying to do. And then when we go out, this is literally like for essentials, or we're going to the shopping mall or whatever, and they're just there everywhere. It's like you can't escape it. And it's just a reminder that they're unwell and you were once there. They don't get that that's what it is. And it's so forceful. And it's not, it doesn't do anything. Everything is so chaotic. Yeah, it is. But that's the way they thrive, isn't it? Off chaos. So I don't know what. I just don't think that these spaces are going to be growing, because they need to be doing up the same tactics to be able to recruit, and it's not going to be working, because as soon as they come and they do it, and if somebody sees my content, they're going to be like, wow, Leah's right. That's all. That's all. You just see it. Like once you see it, you can't unsee it. And I'm so glad the young people are coming up, like waking up, because they still your whole youth. Yeah, they do. That's what they want, a trauma bond. All right. So fewer models for female authority and more theological arguments that made dissent appear sinful. So that's where the obedience, the submissive, you know, they can't speak back. Proverbs 31, like, in my cult, there's women that put on an accent like this. There was a girl on a video with the prophet, yes, daddy, and she's young. So it's like, you know, and that's why I said that I believe that God has used me, because this is everything that they hate. They'd brand me as a strange woman. They brand me as loud. They brand me as a Jezebel. They brand me as a fearful. Listen, babe, one thing I'm going to tell y'all, just please stop comparing me to people, because you haven't seen anything like this. Do you know what I mean? Like, Jezebel's had her time. I respect her. She did her thing. I'm not going to bring her down, or anyone else that's come before me. Respect where respect's due. But you know, like, please, like, put some respect on my name, in it, because like, I'm just going to do up what I'm going to do up. Like, Jezebel had her style. I'm going to have my style and my way of doing things. All right. Okay. All right. So competing theologies produce different social outcomes, and the dominant theology that won out tended to privilege authority, structures that could control behavior and limit women's leadership. So that's why, because we're having this awakening and there's like this narcissistic collapse and everyone's like coming to these epiphanies. Oh my God, I've been I've had all this childhood trauma and I've been in this state for 5 years. And, women are waking up and saying that even though I've been married for 30 years and wasted my whole life, I don't want to waste what little time I've got left. And I'm outie. Like, people, like, shocking things is happening at the moment. Do you know what I mean? Like, guys, this is some mad, crazy era. Like, Charlie Kirk got popped the other day. Then Cardi B's coming and saying she's pregnant for that geezer. And it's just like, whoa, like, I'm trying to keep up, chair. It's like, you don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. Like, that's the vibe. Guys, do you know what I'm really craving? My croissant with bacon. Do you not do that? Do you know why I like having croissant like that? Yeah, because, I used to go to France a lot. And their breakfast, they have like the croissant with the beans. It's so lovely. Oh my God, France is like my favorite place on earth. I love it there. And then isn't it crazy about the connection? Do you see what I mean? I've always had a connection with France. And then I come to find out about Mary and Marseille. And then I went on that pilgrimage. How crazy is that? So do you see why I like doing things like this? Because I trust no one. I'm going to keep it raw. I don't even really trust the Gnostic text. Because it's like, who wrote it? How did it get there? I trust myself from within. So that's why I draw from the well within, because I think that there's a spiritual DNA that we can like decode. I believe that God has given everything to us within, because before, all these sacred texts, there was someone that went within and was writing it. Trust self, yeah. And I think that's why healing's so important, when you come out, because we have to rebuild that trust. Like, I've learned to trust myself now, but oh God, has it taken years, and I've got so much more that I'm learning about myself. But I got out of the gutter, man. I'm just so proud of myself that I literally just crawled out of the gutter. Like, oh guys, I don't think you understand what I've been. Guys, I haven't even started to unpack what I've been through. That's what I'm saying. Like, I need, like, anyway, God's gonna sort them out. There's absolutely no way they're gonna get away with this. I was talking to an OG survivor today, and I said they're gonna get what's coming. Do you know what I mean? A divine blueprint. Yeah. Have you looked into the early church? What early church? The church is there a church earlier than Gnosticism? What early church are you referring to, my love? And Gnosticism is not even an early church. What's the earliest church? Tell me. Oh, thanks, Miss Blacklisted. I'm proud of all of us. Educate me. What's the early church? Miss Blacklisted, can you do the honors? It's given indoctrinated. What Mary actually taught in the Gospel of Mary, and this is the brief, babe. I'd focus on the souls that you can't recruit at the moment. That's what I'd focus on. Yeah. Because I'm just going to keep going. It's just about consistency for me. But you wait until them laws start getting changed, and then them, what's making the money. Thank you, my love. There's not going to be half as many of these spaces, because majority of them are just doing it for the money. That's all it's about. They just want to rinse people dry. They're just users. And then they just discard you. And it's so sad, because people really, like, I relied on this setting for everything. That's why, Blacklisted, when you were talking about trauma bonds and codependency, I'm feeling a bit emotional. I don't even think I haven't even started to unpack the ABUSE from my pastor's wife. And there was another woman that abused me real bad, like Esther, LP Esther. And to think I was actually thinking about naming my last daughter that. Do you know there's people who's named like their child after the cult leader, like Dag? Like some people have got kids outside in these streets called Dag, and put like one of the high ranking pastor's child is called John Dag. And I don't know, like tomorrow I'm going to be talking about like an element of the journey that I haven't really spoken about yet. And it's my marriage. You know, it's just so sad because I'm sad for myself and like the woman I was, you know, when I was like a single married wife. Thanks, Miss Blacklisted. Yeah, it does. It does take years, doesn't it? I really do want to finish this, but I think I just had to let that out. And obviously I'm going to limit it. I'm not going to like, because I would never like say anything that would cause like psychological harm to my children. Do you know what I'm saying? So, but even the surface level stuff is so bad. Do you know what I'm saying, guys? Because we just became desensitized to so much trauma. And ABUSE, because as you know, it's a misogynistic environment in it. So the women we're just used as a punching bag, really. These men they're not ready for marriage emotionally, financially, spiritually. They're not ready. And so what they do is they just shut down in the marriages. They just shut down because they can't be an emotional crutch for themselves, let alone a female. And then what comes with marriage and kids. So a lot of the time what the men will do is just shut down and give their wife like silent treatment. And then it will go to them like, you know, not being intimate. And then it will go to, you know, him sleeping in another room or whatever. And then he's usually having an affair at that point. Do you know what I mean? And if it's not a physical affair, it's an emotional affair. He's definitely getting them needs met somewhere else. That's on period point blank. I'm not saying that was the case with my ex-husband because he claims that he hasn't cheated, but I don't trust men as far as I can throw him. So that's why when they came and they started saying, oh, he's cheated, they thought they didn't know me. They didn't. I've never cared about cheating. I deal with ballers and hood celebs. It's just like Ninja, that's my B, like I hold them down. I'm not DUMB, like just gonna be going and having eats for them guys and all that. Like I've been there and done that and worn the tea. I don't care. I don't care. That's why I'm happy to just do up the collective. Like I've got my beautiful kids, I've had my wedding, I've experienced marriage, I've, you know, had my little Z list fame, you know, I've what's it like, you know, dated and I'm good. I'm not thirsty. Like it's just because they're just so thirsty and then they think all the gal them is, and then the men think that they're prizes. Guys, the men in there, oh my god, I was talking to an OG survivor and she was like, oh, I can't believe this guy's still in there. I'm not gonna say the name. Oh my gosh, but guys, like I was like to her, where is this guy going? Like he's not gonna go anywhere. I was like, this is his only chance to find someone that's gonna actually take him on to marry him. Because in the real world, no woman's gonna go for that. Thank you, Miss Blacklisted, for everything you've done today. And I'm gonna start unwinding now. Because I have been on, I've been on for an hour. If you guys have got questions, let me know. So Mary's voice in the apocrypha is liberatory and matriarchal in effect. So that's the feminine lens of Christianity, and that's more about gnosis knowledge, going within, being more tapped in and in tune with your inner self. It models spiritual authority outside male clerical gatekeeping, because we can't find ourselves in the canon. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when you come out, especially if you're a woman, you're going to need to like seek to find, but some people are happy to stay within the restraints of the canon, and that's also fine. But then I don't know if you're going to be open to discussing what I want to discuss. Do you know what I mean? Because I don't want to stay within the parameters of the canon, because I think that's information control for me. Do you know what I mean? And I'm definitely going to need to contextualize it, and we're going to have to bring ChatGPT into it, because we can agree to disagree, and then there's ChatGPT. Okay. The social context, patriarchy, property, and power. Can you let me know if this is helping? Because if there's no survivors on here, I'm really not going to give it my energy. Are you lot on burner accounts? Is that one person? Are you a survivor on YouTube? Can people let me know if there's survivors on the live? If there's even one survivor, I will continue. But if there's not, I'm just going to head off. I'm not going to lie. If you don't say anything on YouTube, then I'm going to gather that you're a troll. And then I'll just take it as that, because I do need to know if there's survivors. Are there survivors on this live on TikTok? Can you let me know if there's survivors on there, please? All right, so is this mainly true? All right, guys, I'm going to head off now, because I'm not going to sit here. I'll keep it real. I'm not going to sit here and give my time to, you know, people that aren't survivors. If you're not a survivor, you know, and you're not benefiting from what I'm saying, I'll just go chair. So there's no survivors on TikTok. So I'll come back tomorrow, guys. Yeah. Let me just give it, because it might be. Ooh. All right. Someone spoke up. Okay. As long as I know, because I'm not giving my energy for people, because you know what I'm saying? If I don't know that survivors are on here, why am I talking? Thank you. I appreciate you, babe, because I know it's difficult, especially sometimes when you're on the FYP and you don't even want to make yourself known. But I need to know. Do you get what I'm saying? Because I'm not here for the trolls chair. All right. I'd rather go and phone my ex. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'd rather do. All right. All right. So how to? Okay, no, I'm not doing how to put this into action. All right. So the Gospel of Mary and other apocryphal voices were not accidental mistakes. They were real, powerful alternatives to the version of Christianity that later became institutional orthodoxy. So it's just been remixed, and then they've packaged it the way that they've done it up. Yeah. So Gnostic and other early traditions put women like Mary at the center as teachers and witnesses. When the church consolidated power, it preferred texts and structures that fortified male hierarchies. That history explains why Mary was smeared, why Vashti was punished, and why Jezebel was demonized. And it shows us how doctrine can be used to control. So I want to continue to reclaim these voices, to exonerate these characters, because we choose to have spiritual authority, which is our birthright, consent and courage over shame and silence. So, guys, we should really take back our power and use our voice, yeah? All right, so now I'm going to look at how high control groups impact women's self-esteem, confidence, and even physical health. I was speaking to a survivor today, and there's a reoccurring theme that keeps showing up with women, and it's infertility and pregnancy, and so like difficulties conceiving, difficulties having kids. And this is something that survivors struggle with post-cult exit, so after leaving. And there's a lot of people that I know of that are old and still don't have any kids, all right? And they won't adopt, and there's kids out there that are waiting for a family. That's what I'm saying. There's no real love in their hearts, man. So there's a clear link between the psychological, spiritual, and physical layers. Let's break this down, yeah? So self-esteem and confidence. So the constant policing of womanhood, and as well, I want to say that's the internalized misogyny, the projection. So more time, the women are just, you know, they couldn't wear the dress that the girl's wearing, so they're hating, they're jealous, whatever. And it's like projection. It breaks the women down. They're told that their value comes from submission, obedience, being silent, being softly spoken. So it strips them of all autonomy and identity, and it makes them second guess everything. So their outfit, the way they speak, the way they present themselves, everything's got to be really perfect and groomed in there. And then there's blame and shame cycles, and like they shelve women, and if women don't marry early or conceive quickly or fulfill biblical womanhood, she's blamed as like lacking faith, seen as cursed or disobedient. It's almost like she's painted with this, she's got this mark. Do you know what I mean? And isn't it sounding familiar? This is why when the kids go in there, the young people, that's what it's like at home. Because mummy saying, am I going to live to see my grandchildren? It's the same stuff that they do in these spaces. So they bring all of that toxicity, you know, from very archaic, cultural, you know, like patriarchal, misogynistic bits and pieces that we don't want anymore. That's why we've got our fellow brothers and sisters abroad that are exposing it up. They don't care anymore. They don't care. And we can see that from the time, what's going on in Burkina, guys, the times, what's going on in the times, yeah, we need to open our eyes, because what's going on with Burkina Faso and like that emancipation of Africa and all of the, guys, I'm telling you, there's a lot of shifts and changes, you know. You got to stay woke, chair. Hey, look within, you got to stay woke. I'm not going to lie. Because I've been asking God a lot more about, which I won't talk about because I just think that's too triggering. And for me personally, I think this is where the humility part comes into, because I don't feel like it's everything that I hear from God I need to be chatting. That's number one. Number two, if I'm asking God something on a personal level, it's not everything that I'm coming on here to share. You know, like, do you get what I'm saying, guys? And it can be very triggering saying, oh, God said to me, or I heard from God. So I won't do that up, but I will say, or if it's not as triggering, I'll say, I've been reflecting on, you know, the current times that we're in. And I just want to test the waters. I'm kind of just like testing my giftings, I suppose, to see, you know, because I'm not an idiot, chair. I'm not trying to look like these idiots outside in these streets. You know, I deal with facts on facts, chair. All right. Then we've got spiritual gaslighting. So women are told to pray harder, you know, submit to the husband more. It's always the woman it's the woman's fault. They're not praying hard enough. Are you cooking enough? Are you cooking? You know, it's always the woman's fault. It's never the man being a breaky, being cantankerous, not holding up his end of the bargain. It's always the woman. So, and it takes them so long to leave, if they leave at all, because there's so much indoctrination. Oh my gosh. You feel like you're going to go to HEOL. Guys, I had to come to the point where I was like, God would not want me to be this unhappy. Like, if I'm a child of God, God would not want me to be this unhappy in this marriage. And then I had to unpack it and say, well, actually, when I was in this cult, I didn't have the mental capacity to make a decision because my mind was colonized and controlled by a narcissistic cult leader. So therefore, I just don't think any of that stuff counts, you know, in terms of like how could I possibly make a decision about marriage? What? All right, guys, oh God, this one's long. All right, I'm going to try and do this one because I'm tired, you know, I'm dozing off because I've had an evening with Captain Morgan. Those who get it, get it. All right, so stress and women's health. Let's draw some lines. So stress from cult life isn't just mental, it's physiological, all right? So there's chronic stress releases, which is in the cortisol. So again, that's why I've only got one adrenal, and I'm actually disabled through Addison's, which is linked to the cortisol levels, yeah? And other stress hormones. So remember, like, pregnancy is all about hormones. That's why I believe a lot of women struggle to conceive in these spaces, have a lot of miscarriages. Oh, can you say that? You know, a lot of things like that happen. So it disrupts reproductive and immune systems. And then we're going to look at the infertility link. So chronic stress can disrupt menstrual cycles, delay ovulation, or even stop periods altogether. Malnutrition from fasting, poverty, or neglect of self-care also impacts fertility. Suppression of sexual education means women often don't even understand their own reproductive health cycles or when to seek medical help. Remember, everything in there is about believing in God. So it's true. They don't have the common sense to do that. High risk pregnancies. Women are often pressured to have many children as proof of fruitfulness. This isn't in all cults, because some will have a number like my cult. But I have seen these women having back-to-back kids. And also it's like, do they get that emotional, like, do they get their emotional needs met? When you look at the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, that's very basic for a human to need. So, you know, in other cults, I'm not going to let this go over my head, because in other cults, I know that they're really fixated on being fruitful and multiplying. Do you get what I'm saying? Because that's also a scripture. Because they just hold on to like certain things. But Dag, he looks at that through a lens of the fruits of the spirit, like building the church cults. Lack of medical care. Many groups demonize hospitals or push faith healing over doctors. Complications go untreated until it's too late. And that's like when people have terminal chronic health issues like cancers and whatever, and they're believing in God and their fake pastor that they're going to get healed, and then they just get unalived. And it happens so quick as well, because with these chronic illnesses you just deteriorate. Because I've worked in a hospice. Shame around birth control leaves women with no agency over their reproductive choices. I thought that the pill was EVIR, and I thought it was like, I don't know what I thought. It's just because they do this up in the cult, and it sounds so silly now, but it was a real thing for me. So people aren't even ready for it. They just get pregnant so quick. All right, pregnancy complications. Stress hormones can contribute to women not being able to go full term, preterm labor, or low birth weight. I've seen so many pregnancies like this. This was what happened to me as well. Women are often expected to keep serving the cult even when pregnant, and prove themselves even more. There's no mercy. They're not seen as like a vulnerable group or anything like that. It adds another layer of risk since social support is proven to protect maternal health. And this is where I'm going to leave it, guys. Oh, yeah, look, this is the last one. All right. The deeper cult connection. These church cults equate a woman's worth with her womb. Because remember, that's how the women recompense themselves. Eve, it's her fault that the whole of man sinned. She coerced Adam to eat the fruit. Then how do we make up for it? We recompense ourselves through Mary, the mother of Jesus, because she had Christ, and we will recompense ourselves through labor, through childbirth. So women can come in independent, having dreams and goals. Hey, Miss CHM. And then before you know it, they've turned them into a pick-me, wanting some dusty man in there and have a baby. Can you imagine? It's so sad. Her ability to marry, bear children, and raise the next generation of followers. That's all that they see women as good for. And then if they've got more women than men in the setting, then they will make allowances, because at the end of the day, it's money over everything in their chair. When women struggle to conceive, instead of receiving compassion, they're shamed as cursed, sinful, or under demonic attack. They don't go and seek like medical health professionals or whatever. There's just a lot of this demonization. That spiritual abuse intensifies stress, making health outcomes worse. And I have survivors that have lost kids because of these ABUSC church cult environments. So the cycle becomes self-fulfilling. The more pressure, shame, and stress, the harder conception and healthy pregnancies become. So again, pregnancy is all about hormones and stress. So we see that happening right here. Okay, so this is the last one, guys, because I've been on here for a while and I'm tired. Hey, Queen Ange. So in short, high control groups rob women of confidence, attack their self-worth, and place impossible expectations on their bodies, on their life, on the tasks, on everything. Because not the same for women, is it? Like you carry a baby for 9 months, like a man's never going to experience it. But yet they put all of that pregnancy. My cult leader said pregnancy is not a disease. So you can imagine there's even a pastor's wife, the Binies, Rita and Fifi Biney. She had her baby. She had the baby and she was in the church like that week. And what happened? She had to go back, like get stitches, because she's doing too much. You've got to rest, but they want to prove themselves that the pregnancy, doesn't mean that they're not doing the work of the Lord. It's not like God's blessed them and now they've forgotten about God. It's all works like because if loads of women start taking maternity leave, they're not even paying them. Then everything starts to crumble. So they want you there 24 hours a day and they don't want any excuses. All right. So what looks like spiritual failure is actually the natural result of long-term trauma, stress, and neglect. And that's why they do all that fear-based stuff, because you're believing that it's a spiritual attack rather than something going, due to trauma or whatever. Yeah. And on that note, I'm going to go. I'll come back tomorrow. I'm so tired. But I'm glad I soldiered through and I did this. I wanted to do this for the survivors. Give us a little sign, something, because tomorrow I'm going to be out into the evening. And then on Sunday, I'm going to be busy again. But from Monday, it will be back to normal. All right, love y'all. Thank you so much for all your gifts and support, guys. I'll be back tomorrow. Bye. Oh, I didn't get any tutorials. All right, YouTube, thanks for being a part of this and listening. I'll be back tomorrow. Bye.